What's up, everybody? Welcome to Everybody Podcast. We're doing a little segment today called Everybody's Movies. Of course, I'm joined with my wonderful team of Chad, Kristen, and Cody. Today, we're going to be reviewing The Crow from 1994. I'm sure people our age, 30s, late 20s, we all know what The Crow is. I believe this was her first time seeing it.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I've seen it a bunch of times.
I feel like a lot of our movies that we choose are going to be first time for you.
Yeah, I don't really watch movies.
Oh, okay.
That's the problem.
Well,
Unless
anyway.
they're horror. Go on.
Director of this movie is Alex Proyas, I believe. Like I said, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
Budget
know
is $23 million. They made $94 million at the box office. Stars Brandon Lee as Eric Draven, Bruce Lee's son there, who, if you could tell from my clue, he got killed by a prop gun in this movie. But luckily, he had all of his scenes done before the movie ended. But they had to do a couple of script rewrites and stunt double action.
Wait, who died?
scenes.
I think it's weird
Brandon
when they call
Lee,
it a prop gun.
Star.
The main character, yeah.
He got. You know how Alec Baldwin shot and killed a guy by a prop gun? That's what happened to
That's
Brandon
so
Lee.
sad.
I think it's really weird to call it a prop gun.
I
Like
know.
clearly it's a real
Yeah.
gun. It's just being used as a prop. If it was a prop gun, it wouldn't have shot and killed anybody.
Yeah,
That's sad.
It's freaky, man. It was really sad.
The guy who did it didn't fucking act for like I think 3 or 4 years. I think the next time he acted was in Seven.
Who did it?
Fun Boy was the character. I don't
He's
know
the
what his
guy that
name
did
is.
it?
Yeah.
Oh no shit! I didn't see that.
His name was like Michael Malise or something like that.
Damn.
Oh man, that's gotta like do something to your head.
It's traumatic.
Yeah, he didn't act
for
for
sure.
years. He
That's
refused to act for years, and even when he did pop up in Seven, I don't think he wasn't a major role or
Right.
anything.
Jesus, man. But the story goes, Eric Draven and his fiancée were murdered the night before their wedding by an inner city gang, and on the year anniversary, he pops up as the Crow, seeking to get revenge on each gang member that came in and raped his fiancée and killed him and stuff. She actually didn't die when they first came in. She later died at the hospital. Another guy you'll recognize is Ernie Hudson. As you guys told me, he is from the Ghostbusters. He plays the cop that's like the other main character in this film. But yeah, first watch. Let's hear from you.
Yeah,
What'd you think of the movie?
Since you're a newbie here.
So since it was like you chose it, I was kind of like had low expectations, kind of like with Chad's zombie movie. But I fucking love this movie.
Yes.
I really did. I like texted some people about it. I like was really stoked about it.
And you were like, "Have you ever seen The Crow?" And they're like, "You're like way behind, dude." Yes, of course we've seen The Crow.
No one's seen it, so fuck off. But it was really, really good. I loved it a lot, actually. I mean, you could tell it was made in the 90s.
Yeah.
But other than that, give it a solid. Oh, I'm not gonna rate it yet, but it's pretty good.
Pretty solid movie.
What about you, Chad? How was your watch through of it?
See, the first time I watched this movie, I had to be like,
We were 5.
yeah, we were young as shit.
When it came out, we were 5.
Yeah,
was
the
0.
first time I watched
We probably watched it like
9 or 10.
I was 0 years old when it came out.
So even when I was younger, this movie was awesome to me.
Yep.
And I went back and like we rented it from Troy Video, a small little video
Do you
store.
remember that? Do you remember Troy Video?
And like I can't remember if we rented it on like VHS or DVD
It's
or whatever.
probably VHS, dude.
But
for sure.
we rented it multiple times because I thought it was fantastic. It was a good movie, even as a youngster.
is Troy Video where State Farm is now?
No,
that was
Video
Video
King.
Oh.
Troy Video, I think, is a
across from the pump and pantry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That
think they
big
turned
white
it
building.
into a garage now.
Okay.
No,
Or at
it's
least it
just
was
it's
for a while.
I'm
just
pretty
a-
sure it's just their house.
Yeah,
now.
it's just a residence now.
I know
I mean, it was
Erie's in one of
basically
those
just
houses.
a house before.
Yeah, yeah.
I
It
had
was.
Ace Video. Ace Video is pretty chill.
Yeah,
that was another tiny place,
Awesome
wasn't
ice
it?
cream.
I've never been in. They had ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
So you could get rent a movie and get a scoop
And
of
they
ice
made
cream.
cakes.
Oh, what?
I
So
Damn, they had it
were they
going
like
on.
were they like a small business owners kind of thing?
Yeah.
Did they get bought out, or they just couldn't afford it anymore, so they closed?
I honestly have no idea. I feel like all movie places have kind of just.
Faded out. Yeah,
Disappeared.
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, but they went out before movies.
Well, it's
Like, went
Canton,
out
so I'm assuming
far
they
as-
probably just didn't have money.
People didn't rent movies in Canton.
Canton's not very big, not very populated area.
It's true. It's dirty. Cody, what about you?
Okay.
How'd you like your second watch, or third watch, or millionth watch?
Yeah, I've probably watched it about a million times when I was younger. It was on, I want to say it was on TNT a lot. I used to watch it on TV every time it was on. I loved it when I was a kid. After watching it this time, though, I thought it was just fucking cheesy as hell.
Really?
Yeah, I was not a big fan. It's such an early 90s movie.
Yeah.
The special effects are so early
Oh, they're-
90s. There were so many cheesy lines that when I heard just made me cringe. And I was like, oh, this movie is so fucking 90s. And like, not in a good way. Like, I completely lost my passion for early 90s movies. I think they're all just shit.
The biggest thing for me about The Crow is I really like the movies where somebody gets revenge. I think that's the biggest thing for me. Because, well, especially when it comes to, like, they raped this bitch and murdered. And it was
Yeah,
this
I know.
girl.
I wanna
Like,
kill him
they were
too.
about to get. Yeah, me too. Right? I'm glad they're dead. But it's a feel good story when somebody can get revenge.
I don't know if I'd call this a feel-good story. It's pretty much sad from beginning to end.
Yeah,
it
it's
is,
very
but it made
sad.
me feel good when he killed everybody.
One thing I really would like to know about this movie is what the water budget was, because there's no way it rained like that the whole time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's so much water in that movie.
Did it ever stop raining? Was there
at
a point?
the end? At the end.
Yeah, the point
Oh,
of it,
wow.
he's like, it stopped, whatever he says.
At one point, he's like, "If it will, at least finally stop raining."
Yeah.
The cop dude.
The
I
way
think,
he
said
killed
that, maybe.
people was pretty clever.
He
Some of
stabbed
them.
Funboy a bunch of times with heroin needles.
Yeah,
Made
dude.
him overdose on heroin. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, and then like the
Stuck them all in his fucking
that car
chest.
one, putting like,
Yeah, actually,
yeah.
that was one of my favorite. Because I'm looking down this list, and
oh yeah, we have, like,
favorite deaths is one of the things, or kills, I should say, for the Crow. And that car going out over the ocean and just blowing up. That was my favorite
and it's like
kill of the
crackhead
movie.
friend is like freaking the fuck out.
And the way he lit the crow and like the fire outline,
Yeah,
was pretty
yeah.
sweet.
Yeah, that
Leaving
guy
his
in
mark.
the car was he played Luther in the Warriors. He was like the main bad guy in the Warriors,
Word.
which I didn't know before going into it. But I just like from the beginning when they were, because he's the one who did all the talking during the rape scene at the beginning,
Yeah.
and I kept hearing his voice. I was like, it sounds so fucking familiar. And then I finally looked it up and saw that he was Luther, and I was like, oh, I get it, because his voice. Like, there's a line in The Warriors where he's like, Warriors, come out to play. And I just, like, as soon as I saw him, I was like, oh, yeah. I just heard that voice in my head saying that. And I was like, oh, it's that guy, yeah. Fuck yeah.
He was good. He looked really good as like a fucking drugged out.
scumbag?
Yeah,
Yeah.
scumbag.
Didn't he
I mean,
also,
they all look like really good scumbags.
Didn't he also play the scummy janitor in The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler?
Oh, dude, I haven't seen that movie in a long
He
time,
was like the
so I don't
he
know.
was the snitch. Or
He was the
something.
one that fucking burned Chris Rock alive.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He might have been. I don't know if that was him, but I know that's just who you're talking about.
Okay,
Right?
Yes.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Because
who
I
you're
was
talking
like,
about.
when I was watching through it this second time, I was like, man, where else is that actor from? And I looked up some
Wow.
of his movies, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right, Longest Yard.
I didn't know that.
He's old as shit.
Brad, you need to do better
that
research
movie.
on your own movies.
Well, we're not. I mean,
This
it's
is-
a character from
Okay,
the
my
movie
bad, sorry.
playing in another movie, but there's like
I was
a
kidding.
huge difference in age between the movies.
Yes. Oh,
So,
yes.
like,
Yeah, at least
I-
20 years.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. Like, so
I was just
No.
kidding. My bad.
don't be
Jokes.
don't be a dick.
Jokes.
What was your favorite kill, dude?
My favorite kill? I don't know. I like the heroin thing. Stuck them all in his chest. That's like,
In the symbol, they did. It was in the symbol of the crow, right?
Yeah,
No.
like so.
Yeah.
For that to happen, like that's straight up torture, because
For
you get
sure.
super duper high, and then
I mean, he raped his woman, dude. Fucking kill him in the
straight-
worst
straight-
way.
Yeah, dude, straight to the chest. How many heroin needles were stuck in that guy's chest?
Looked like about 10 of them.
Yeah, that's
Which,
ridiculous.
I'm gonna call bullshit. No heroin addict keeps 10 needles lying around. You just use the same needle over and over again.
Yeah.
That's how AIDS got spread. But my favorite kill was fucking when the crow killed the lady.
I knew
pecked
you
her
were gonna
fucking
say
eyes
that.
out.
I was gonna say
and then
that.
like pushed her off of the fucking ledge there at the very end.
Oh, speaking of that lady, I'm gonna butcher the name. Is it Bai Ling or whatever?
I don't fucking know.
But anyway, that
go with
that
it.
Asian girl, she was the original Yellow Power Ranger.
What?
Yeah, it's the same girl.
She was the one that was like trying to harness the power of the crow.
Yeah.
I didn't fucking understand that at all. Like, where did she get that from? Like, where is she?
Well, her and the boss dude, they're just weird fucking people.
Well,
He
they're
was like
brother and
eating
sister,
an eye.
right? And
Are they really?
Fucking, he
Yeah,
says that
that-
at some point.
Yeah.
I thought he was. I
Like-
thought they were joking
I
or
mean,
something.
I was trying to.
Because I'm like,
because
he's like, see the resemblance, and I'm like, no. So are you joking?
So
Like, yeah, I don't
for
get it.
how hard, like how they were like a big part of the movie, kind of, I figured there'd be like a plot twist with their story, but they end up just like dying.
Like-
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I thought something cool was gonna happen with what they like believe in and stuff.
I
Like
mean,
it's gonna.
it's
but it
awesome
doesn't.
how he
Like they were
gets
gonna
impaled.
almost harness the power of the crow
Yeah.
or something, or one of them would, and
Yeah.
then there'd have to be like a crazy fight.
Because she like they like kill that girl and then like eat her eye, and I'm like, okay, so they're like in some weird demonic shit, I
Right.
guess. And then I'm like, they're gonna do some, and then they just try to take the crow,
But yeah,
fail.
yeah, and then just Eric Draven just like touches that guy's face, and then that's
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
30
it.
years of
when
pain.
it comes to that, why didn't he just do that
In the
before?
beginning.
Why, did he,
Yeah.
why did he have to fight this guy for so long when he could have just been like, ugh?
You know, the whole end fight scene between them two is ridiculous. Like, I feel like there's nothing behind it. Like, he killed all the gang members, and then this guy was just like, I'm the leader of that gang, and I'm the boss.
Well,
And
it was
then
kind of
just-
like-
it's just
That's how
It felt like they were trying to make us think that they were gonna go after him because they wanted to harness the power of the crow.
right.
But then they don't do anything besides just talk shit and like fight, like get a fist fight with him. Which I gotta say, it doesn't seem like Bruce Lee taught Brandon Lee shit about martial arts. All of the fighting in this movie looks terrible. Like it looks like he's never thrown a punch in his entire life. And it's like, dude, your dad was Bruce fucking Lee. Like, what is going on here?
I
That's
think
funny.
that the bad guy there, the Michael Wincott guy, played a
What's it
really
called?
good
top,
bad.
top dollar.
The one,
Yeah, top dollar.
the one with the long hair.
Yeah, he
I-
played a really good bad guy.
I agree.
think.
His was my favorite performance in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like I think the best performance in the whole movie was him giving that speech to all those guys, like all those fucking other
Sitting
leaders
around
of
the
gangs
table,
or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, that was I think the best part of the whole movie was him giving that fucking coach's speech to all the criminals and shit.
Yeah.
But also, what was their fucking plan? This shit reminded me of the fucking underpants gnomes in South Park. Like they were just like, we go out there, we set fires, we make money.
yeah.
It's like what? Like okay, where
How does that work?
Yeah, like what fires are
Who's
you setting
paying-
that's
who's
just gonna
paying
get
you?
you
He
money?
said no. The in that speech, it's confusing because he was talking about how setting fires and explosions have been done already, and then at the end, he's like, "I want to set a big fire." Like, oh, okay.
And it's like, where are you guys making money? And they're all like loading guns and cocking guns and shit. And it's like, what are you gonna do with those guns? Are you gonna shoot stuff to start the fire? Like, what is your guys' plan here?
Yeah.
That's what the crow did to the thrift shop guy there. Shot the bullet with the rings, and it sparked the gas.
Yeah. Yeah.
True. So I guess we were supposed to assume that was what it was supposed to happen with the guns.
But
Is that how they're starting the fire? What do they need the guns for?
You know,
I'm so
the
confused.
more we
about
talk
that.
about this, the more I agree with you about the corniness.
Yeah, it
It's
is
so-
corny.
Like I'm cringing right
But
now.
I
a little
love-
bit.
I
Like,
liked
why?
it.
What?
It was. I still think it's a good movie, but
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I'd probably.
I can
go back.
kind of laugh. I'm laughing at it a little bit now.
Definitely some cringe in there.
But like I said, there was definitely through the whole movie, there was definitely a feeling where I'm like, none of this makes sense. Like I get the base plot, but
There's
I mean,
a
it was-
I can't really describe what I want to say.
Like the actual plot of it with like the Brandon Lee coming back, Eric Draven coming back from the dead and getting revenge and stuff. That's really cool. That makes for a great movie. I think they could have totally left out the whole fires thing and like all the gang members getting together. None of that made any sense.
what?
Yeah.
What?
But then
where do
again,
you
we wouldn't have gotten like the cool speech that the bad guy Top Dollar
Right.
gave. You know, I think a lot of that was just playing on the fact that he was the best actor in the whole movie. And they're like, we need to give something for this guy to do because he's good.
Right.
And he looked good too. Like the long hair, like
He
he looked
looked
like a
like-
creepy bad guy.
He looked like he should
The
have been in a
voice.
death metal
The
band.
voice was
Yeah.
great. I don't know if the voice was a put on or anything.
Yo,
but
let's talk about that prop cocaine. That you could clearly tell that was not cocaine.
I don't remember there being cocaine.
I don't remember the coke.
yeah,
man.
it's like right.
He was
it's
sitting
like on a
with
platter.
his sister or
There's a
whatever she
huge
was,
pile
and
of
it was
it.
a huge pile of it on the table in front of him.
and
and he
he
was
has
snorting it.
lines. He's like,
I guess I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
No.
Yeah,
I was interested. in
That was
part.
that was one of the things because I was
Chad,
watching it.
You guys see that cocaine part?
I was watching it on my phone. I was watching it on my phone, and Jerry was reading her book, and I just kind of said out loud, I was like, "That's clearly not real cocaine."
It's just like
and
flour.
I leaned. Yeah,
I
that's
know.
exactly,
I know good coke.
I leaned over to Jerry. I was like, that
It's
doesn't
a
even look
movie.
like
It's a
cocaine.
movie, dude. Of course, they do cocaine after they
See,
rap.
Yeah.
See
Yeah,
what?
it seems like they could just get their hands on real cocaine
What?
and just use that.
He was So he snorted it in the movie. Like,
Mhm.
do you think it was sugar?
He does snort
If
it,
you-
yeah,
you
and it
actually
goes
sounds-
away.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's some kind of chemical thing.
I snorted pixie sticks when I was younger and I didn't like die. So
I mean, you can snort stuff without
like,
dying.
yeah, so
Yeah.
like it wasn't
Cocaine
that bad.
users prove that every day.
Why would you give me that?
Because it's stupid.
But I think there's
What did
something,
you think
there's
was
something
gonna
that they
happen?
use in movies
It
for
just
that.
burnt. Started me young, you know what I mean? Just kidding. But anyways, one corny thing that happened in the movie where I was like, how the mom like magically wants to be a good mom. I know like she had like an eye-opening thing because dude came and like
but
pushed
it
the
was
shit.
so quick though.
Yeah, like if
It
she's
was
addicted to drugs,
It was like the movie was kind of like, we're gonna make you guys care about their relationship
For
Nah,
2
not,
minutes.
Not really.
For 2
Yeah.
minutes.
and how quick the daughter just changed because she was gonna throw away the eggs. She's like, I like them however way, mommy, and I'm like,
I think they just
shut the fuck up.
I think they just didn't want you to feel bad for the little girl, like wholly. Like I don't think they wanted you to end
Right.
because if the movie ended without that particular scene, it's like okay, now Eric Draven's gone. This little girl goes back to her shitty life.
It was just
You know,
awkward.
like at
It
least
was
we get
too
that
quick.
little. At least we get that little like
Feel
sun
good.
ray
There's a
in that like
feel
her
good
life
moment.
isn't going to be absolutely.
That could have been
awful.
at the end. Like they could have saved that for like an ending thing. That was like right immediately after the whole incident.
It was kind of random.
Yeah.
Like they just kind of threw it in there for a little bit and then
Yeah,
moved
dude,
on.
it was the
Yeah.
feel good
Let's remake
moment.
this movie. I feel like we could make it a little
It's
There's
been
been-
remade like
there-
10
real
times.
cocaine. Real cocaine this time.
I used to watch all the
Might
sequels
make
too.
for a better movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I
Yeah.
remember
Yep,
watching a
I've-
couple
Oh,
of
I
the
saw
I
sequels.
that.
as well.
binged all the movies one time because they were all on Netflix at one point.
And most of
And I
them are
just
just a
fucking-
different character that's becoming the Crow now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
You know, it's just
Yeah.
a completely different guy with a different story.
The second one was kind of cool. The
City
other
of Angels. That's the second one.
And there, I think Resurrection was that one was all right.
What number was the one where it starts off the guy's on death row and he gets electrocuted and then he becomes the Crow because he's
That's
actually innocent?
Resurrection.
Oh, okay. That one was a good one.
It's with
I
the
ca-
short-haired blonde.
Yeah. I like that one. That was a
That
pretty good one.
was sweet. Then there's the one they did with
Because like
the guy who played in Detroit Rock City with the green coat.
Edward Furlong,
Was it? I'm pretty sure it was him.
the
really,
one from Terminator.
Yeah, hold
he
on.
played a Crow.
Hold on, let me look.
That makes me want to watch it. Like just
Yeah,
because.
right?
he-
Terrible.
I mean,
I wasn't even thinking-
was it because he looks like he would make a good Crow. I mean, as far as his acting
You would
goes,
think that, but you know how you're talking about how Brandon Lee's corny? That movie is like
I mean, it's probably really bad. I don't think any of the sequels of this movie were great.
Heath
Hold on,
Ledger would make a good
I'm gonna make
Crow
sure.
Maybe.
if he
You know,
didn't
the one
die.
thing I liked about Resurrection was like it wasn't face paint because he got fried in the electric chair.
Yeah,
It was scarring.
Edward Furlong.
So he peeled off, and it was dope.
Yeah, I could see them making him the Crow. That's definitely him.
It even looks stupid.
Wait, what's it called?
The Crow Wicked Prayer.
It's a terrible name, too.
That looks
It's
bad.
got David Boreanaz in it and Tara Reid.
Oh shit!
Oh, it must be Tara
David-
Reid after her downfall.
Yeah, David Boreanaz plays the villain guy. He like it, dude. It's so weird. He gets some like godlike power, and then the Crow's like the guy that's stopping. It's corny as fuck.
Yeah,
dude.
this sounds awful.
It's-
I kind of want to watch it though.
I
I'll be
mean-
honest with you.
You should at least give it a watch, just so you know.
I'd probably have seen it before when it's. I'm assuming it's pretty old.
Oh,
They haven't made a
yeah.
Crow movie in fucking forever.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
We're gonna make
There's
it.
been talks of there's been multiple directors that keep saying they're gonna do it, and then they back out like 6 months later. There's been like 4 different directors that are like, I'm gonna take it on, and then they back out after a few months.
Like recently?
No, back in like 99 and 2000 and
okay,
shit.
Okay.
Well,
All right, let's go to the Rotten Tomato scores.
All
What do you
right.
think the critics gave it?
Are we going?
2005 is when that last Crow movie came out, by the way. Go percentage.
Okay.
critics.
What do you think the critics gave
What do
it?
I think critics gave The Crow? I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna 80. I'm gonna
80?
go with an 80.
87.
87.
I don't think it was that high. I'm
What do you-
guessing critics didn't like this movie. I'm
You're dumb.
gonna say 50. I'm gonna go 50.
83%
Really?
is what the critics gave this
You're
movie.
close.
Wow.
That surprises me. I'm very surprised.
I mean, it's probably, critics from 94 when this movie was like, oh my God, it's The Crow. So I'll be The Crow for Halloween.
Okay.
It's Sting.
I mean, his face paint is kind of cool.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
dope.
Very
But,
easy.
I mean,
It's
a
so black metal.
lot of people know that Sting completely took the Crow's look for his next character.
For
and
sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's the exact fucking face paint.
Pretty much. What do you think the audience gave it?
I'm gonna say the audience gave it like a 95.
87.
You're just going to keep it saying 87?
Yeah, it feels like a good number.
I'll say 79.
90%.
Whoa! Look at that.
The audience dug it, dude.
Chad saw it. He read it
Audiences are
earlier.
fucking retarded.
I said 95.
Oh, I thought you said 90.
No.
Wait, so was I close?
Yeah,
I was
you were.
closer.
I mean, without going
Without going over. Well, she was
And
closer.
closer in general.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was closer in
By
general.
two.
I would say buy it. I thought I still think the movie's good,
I
and
definitely
it has. I mean, like Cody said, it's got its cringy moments, but I don't know. It's still a decent watch if you're into nostalgia and the '90s and whatnot. The Crow is like, it's a cult classic. It's a big part of the
Never heard
movies
of it
of the
until this.
like. Okay.
I've never heard of this before until you
Most
said it.
90s babies have, but you were born in 95, so you weren't really a 90s baby.
That's true.
I mean, you were a 90s baby, but you grew up in the 2000s.
yeah.
So it's a little
Sorry.
different. So, like, you don't really matter. That's what I'm saying.
I've heard that before.
What would you give?
I
you
would
tell
buy it.
people?
I consider The Crow to be a cult classic. I think I think the movie was like it was a mark.
It was.
That movie was a mark
It
in
was.
movie history. And like I said, buy that shit.
What do you think, Kristen?
I'd buy it. It reminds me a lot of like Batman.
Interesting. That's a very weird comparison, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's very Batman-y to me, but I love Batman.
He is what Batman would be if Batman killed.
This is actually our first comic books fucking movie that we've talked about.
third
Kind of
movie
forgot
in.
that it was a fucking comic book.
Yeah, dude. I
Right.
don't ever think about that.
It's probably they probably don't even write the comic
See,
book
I
anymore, as
watched-
far as I know.
I was gonna say, like, I watched the movie before I even knew it was a comic.
True. Same. I mean, it was the same with like Spawn. I didn't know Spawn was a comic
I
till
remember.
after I saw the movie in
I thought it was
2001.
I thought it was an animated series because I remember the one on
The
HBO.
Todd McFarlane stuff.
Well, he's
That's
the creator,
his name, right?
Yeah. But because I remember we rented those movies from Troy Video, and that's
Yes.
I believe weren't those the first ones we seen before the movie release,
Yeah.
the animated series. See,
Mom and Dad didn't let us watch it.
'Cause it
Continue
was
watching
pretty
it
fucking
because
graphic.
it was violent and had
And we
the-
were just
it's like the
little
most
kids.
violent, like gruesome cartoon I've ever seen.
Besides Metalocalypse, dude, come on.
Well, I'm not.
Great show.
Yeah, but Metalocalypse could only show so much.
And it was also supposed to be funny, whereas Spawn
Yeah.
was just outright like
Brutal.
gory.
Yeah.
It's just a gory cartoon.
What would you say, Cody? You'd buy it.
I'd say rent it,
Rent
watch it once. That's all it
Rent it.
really needs.
It's very.
I think the only reason why this movie is still talked about and why it has such high scores is because Brandon Lee died making it.
Ooh.
I truly 100% believe that if Brandon Lee didn't die making this movie, nobody would fucking remember it. None of us would have fucking seen it. Nobody would have cared. But since
don't
Brandon
think
Lee
so?
died making it, it just blew up.
Harsh.
Do you think that's why they made so much at the box office then?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Not because it's
100%.
the son of Bruce Lee.
No, it's not the only movie he made.
Oh, true.
He made some pretty fucking shitty movies that nobody cared about.
I looked at some of his.
You want to know what else
movies
drew
he's been-
attention to this movie? When Sting did start doing his thing, people
Yeah,
were
people
like, "Where did
finding
this
out
come
where-
from?"
yeah, people
and they
finding
found the
out.
movie
And then they all bought it and watched it, rented it and watched it.
because Sting started doing that thing like literally right after
Right-
the movie came
right
out.
after.
Yeah, I was
the
gonna say that
movie.
was right around the same time he popped up as around the same time
So
as this
it's
movie came
it's
out.
almost like Sting promoted that movie a little
Yeah.
bit. Gave
He
him
was
some-
like the walking character of the Crow.
yeah.
I mean, he had,
but he had a baseball bat.
yeah,
It had
Yeah.
nothing to do with the Crow.
instead of a guitar.
Instead of a guitar, yep.
I
Then he-
really wish he used that guitar to kill somebody in that
That he-
movie.
No, he just smashed it on the roof instead.
Did any of you guys have any quotes?
It can't rain all the time.
In a movie where it literally rains all the time.
All the time.
Yo, I'm bad with
But
quotes.
the cheesiest line in the whole movie was fucking Funboy when he was shooting him. And when after they just got done doing heroin, and he goes, "Don't you ever fucking die?"
Yeah.
This is the fucking stupidest line I've ever heard. And then, which
There
me
were-
and Brad just found this out. The guy that hit Skank with the car was Henry Rollins.
Yeah, dude.
And when he
He out of the car and he was like, "You asshole."
No, I got
or
exactly what he
something."
fucking said, which also this made me laugh out loud. He hits him with his car, gets out, and goes, "You hit my car."
He wanted everyone to know for sure.
Yeah, but we just found that out before we started recording.
How did you
that was
find
Henry Rollins.
How did you find
I
that?
looked up the cast and I saw Henry Rollins on there, and I was like, I looked at Cody and I was like, where in this movie did we see Henry Rollins? He's like, oh, I don't know. And I looked it up and I found a bunch of YouTube clips and it was that part. And long hair, whatever. So I'm like, all right. I looked up pictures of Henry Rollins with long hair. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, his Black Flag days.
That
he had
is
long
him.
hair.
That's crazy.
Well, he looks Mexican in the movie.
Yeah, like I thought it was like a
What, do you have a stash or something?
no.
He had like a little douche thing here,
Oh, a patch? Just a
Yeah.
little patch.
little douche
That's just a
patch.
douche thing.
I used to have a douche patch. Where is the douche patch?
It's just this little thing right there.
Yeah, I used to have that.
It's just
Wow.
like straight down. You kind of do still have it, but it connects to your fucking beard.
Yeah, so
I
it's
mean,
not
I have
douchey.
the douche patch is just a small thing. This is a goatee.
No.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't have to be just
No,
the little
goatee
small
The,
thing.
is
It
the
can-
all-
small thing is a soul patch, dude. If it's just that.
But
Is that what they call it?
That's what I called it.
But it's not just like it doesn't have to go into the goatee. It can just kind of go down and not go into like the chin. Just go down to the chin.
I just shaved because I want to grow my beard back.
Mine was actually nice and filled in, but I fucked up last night when I was trimming it, and I was like, God damn it.
I fucking shaved
No, it's
for my
really
job
short.
interview just to try and look a little bit better.
Yo, how'd that go?
Oh. I have no idea. I fucking walk out of there and think I did the worst, but then get a call back, and they're like, I don't know. I have no idea. I fucking suck at interviews. I hate doing them. I wish, I was saying this to Brad the other day, or yesterday, like, I wish I could just go and work. Like, you will keep me around if you just hire me. You'll see, like, give me a week. In a week, you'll be like, oh, I'm glad I hired this guy. Like, I don't want to go through this whole fucking interview process. You're not going to be disappointed. Just fucking let me work. Like, that's just how I feel.
Preach.
There you go, dude.
Every fucking job I've ever gotten is just because I showed up and worked.
All of my jobs have been just be here on this date. I've only had one job where I had an orientation.
Really?
Yeah. When I got at Oak Hill, they didn't even give me a walkthrough. They're just like, come in with your brother on Monday. And that's what I did. Then they put me in the hog room and took you out to the slicer, right?
Yeah, I was on the half round.
That sucks.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, but okay, so I had a couple of other things about this movie. Well, I had one more quote I'll say before I get into the other things. The quote was, childhood is over the moment you know you're going to die. I kind of like that quote. I thought it was kind of cool.
That's
real,
heavy.
real gothy, which
Yeah.
fits
Yeah.
with the fucking movie.
Sounds like
'Cause
it'd be a good lyric.
I also wrote down, this is just a fucking 90s goth chick movie. Like, so many 90s goth chicks watched this movie and just fell in love. Like, this movie was written for that little girl in the movie. Like, who she represents, that's who that movie, who the Crow was made
I mean,
for.
the music in it was even like grungy and rocky.
Yeah, like Nine Inch Nails and
Yeah.
fucking, I think Henry Rollins' band was in the movie and shit.
Of course. Just think of the band that was playing when they got to that one, the club type.
Stupid.
Oh, it was terrible.
It was awful, dude.
So bad.
But I also, maybe you guys can answer this question, but like, does he even remember that little girl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah,
Because like, it seems like when he saves her from getting hit by a car, like, it seems like that's when he like figures out who she is.
Yeah, because
Because he has like the
flash- Oh,
flashbacks,
yeah,
but he
yeah.
also still doesn't seem to fully remember who she is.
He does. I think he doesn't want
I think I feel
her
like,
to know what he is or something. Maybe
Have you
yeah, but
ever died
he's
and
got
come back?
absolutely no problem telling her about it once
'Cause,
he
like,
fucking figures it out.
if he's touching people and getting flashbacks and stuff, he definitely knows who she is. And he's like,
Yeah, but did he know who she was when he saved her, or was it after he touched her?
I think it was when he touched her.
Yeah, it was probably after he touched her.
Because that's when the flashback. Because he fell to the ground and he's like, ah.
Yeah, and that was weird. So, like, did he remember what happened to him before he showed up at the fucking apartment?
All those flashbacks, like when he went into the apartment, he saw everything
Because he
that
picked up the
happened.
cat.
But he didn't know shit before that, though, right? Like,
No,
he was
the
just
crow-
like a fucking walking zombie, basically,
Yeah.
before that.
the crow
Yeah.
told him like where to
The
like
crow, yeah,
flew
the
up
crow
there.
led him to the apartment.
And then he held his cat, and then he remembered all the stuff that happened that night. 'Cause
Yeah.
he
And
like
then he
dropped the cat and
decided-
was like,
he's like, oh, face paint.
yeah, and then
Well,
he's
he
like,
woke up with the face paint, right? Or did he
No.
put
No,
the face
he
paint
he
on?
put it on because
Cody,
that's
were you not
he's
watching
seen-
this movie?
Apparently not.
he's seen the one mask that he used to scare his wife with, and then
They
he
were in
just
love.
did the makeup.
She was a
from the mask.
babe.
Those, yeah.
Go on.
Those,
Oh, I was done.
those scenes were cringy. Like the
You're just
flashbacks.
jealous
Like
you don't
how
have
much,
that love.
Because neither of them were great actors.
I
That's
wanted
why
to-
they're cringy.
I wanted to record it and use that sound. It's like, ooh, I'm in love. We're so in love. Get
Go
fucked.
Get fucked.
Aw,
All that
it was pretty gay. I'm not gonna lie.
love stories are okay.
And like
Chad, shut up.
at one point, like all the gang members, the guys that raped them, are all just sitting around at a bar drinking bullets.
Yeah.
What's the point of that?
Yeah, like, is that supposed to make you tough? Like, you're just like, why are they doing that? Are they gonna poop out the bullet and then still use it? Or do you think it would just get stuck in there? Like,
90s badassery.
You have to
Yeah.
wait 7 years to fully shit out a bullet.
yeah, like fucking gum. I mean, it can't be good for you, and it's also like a bullet. It's fucking hard to swallow, man. Unless it's a 22,
Yeah,
which
they're
those were not
fucking
22s.
tough,
Yeah, but
Next episode,
even
we're all
if-
gonna try to swallow bullets.
No, fuck. that.
yeah, you can go ahead and do that one yourself.
Yeah.
Yellow.
YOLO. Get 247 bullets are like that fucking long. Like have a point and shit.
Ugh.
But I just thought that was weird. Just a weird thing that they were doing.
The scene of him finding the ring at the pawn shop was also weird.
Well, yeah,
Like, that
when
whole
he-
thing was very extreme.
And he like fucking he quotes the Raven.
And
When
he's
he
the
fucking-
crow.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
when
but-
he's knocking on the fucking.
A
when he-
Yeah.
crow and raven are in the same bird family.
But they're
But they're still different birds.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. I know.
Yeah.
But whatever, it's a creepy
It just-
90s goth movie.
Yeah. It was just like, how goth can we make this?
how dark.
Oh, I
and
got
scary.
it. Some
It just
Edgar Allan
felt.
Poe.
It
Some
just felt like.
poetry.
It just felt like Brandon Lee was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna quote the Raven right here, and somebody was like, "You're the crow." He's like, I know it's different, but I'm just gonna do it because fucking David or what's his name? I was gonna say David Allan Coe, Edgar Allan Poe. But Edgar Allan Poe never wrote a poem called "The Crow," so
That's true. That's a good point. That's funny.
It's like one of those movies they like last minute got together and didn't look up anything. Like, all right, guys, just do this. They had
Yes.
no idea that what was going on.
say this. Isn't this from the Raven? Yeah.
But it's
Aren't
cool.
I the crow? Yeah.
I like the movie.
Poetry is scary though.
No, I still like the movie, but,
I mean, I don't hate the movie.
I feel like I'd watch that again, to be honest.
I mean,
I
I've
probably
watched
will.
it so
we
many
have,
times.
yeah.
It was better than Survival of the Dead.
Fucking
For sure,
facts.
Yeah, man.
For
It
sure.
was.
I
but
wasted
you know what's
$3
weird?
on that shit.
I've rewatched Survival of the Dead thousands of times, too.
Are you just magically smarter
It's
now?
It's okay
No,
to
I
like
just-
bad movies.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, there's just...
I mean, I think Kung Pao is pretty cool. Even
so do
though
I.
it's
Yeah,
so,
but that's
it's so awful.
Yeah, but that's supposed to be bad.
Well,
Survival of
maybe
the Dead
that's
was
true.
supposed to be good. Like somebody actually tried to make Survival of the Dead a good movie, and it just didn't turn out.
Yeah, it didn't...
I'm legitimately surprised about the success of The Crow. I figured critics would not like this movie, or at least be like lukewarm.
Yeah,
on it.
because critics are usually... They're so
It was
harsh.
probably all a sympathy thing then, like you said.
I don't feel
that's
like they
yeah.
have
I mean, that's
sympathy.
why I said it.
Well,
Like,
we
it's-
can't diss this movie because the main guy died.
I will.
You know what I mean?
Fuck this movie.
I mean, we've literally been
I mean, it's not
dissing
bad,
it
but-
for like the past...
No,
Ten-
We're all like, we like the
That's just
movie,
what
but this
critics-
fucking part sucks.
It's just what critics. I was thinking about what critics were saying. They don't want to say that the movie wasn't really that good.
Oh yeah, I wrote because this is a '90s goth chick movie. I'm surprised The Cure wasn't just playing the entire time. And I wrote that down after I heard The Cure, and I was like, why is this not playing through the whole movie? The Cure, like just fucking Robert Smith should just be in the background the entire time, saying depressing shit. And the
Yo.
special effects in the opening is so bad.
Oh yeah.
It's so bad, that fucking opening, and I guess that they had to refilm that opening after Brandon Lee died.
What
There was
about
something else
the-
was
the
supposed to
scene?
open it.
Where he's running across
The
rooftops.
buildings, yes. Oh my god, that was awful.
It looks so bad.
It looks so bad.
And the thing is, it looked so great back then.
Yeah.
People saw that and was like, "Whoa, this is amazing!"
Yeah,
but just
dude.
when we
It's
have
like-
the Marvel movies now, and then going back and looking at that, it's like, "Oh man."
Yeah,
It's just like
they tried.
Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Alien 3 was another one that I rewatched that I was like, "Oh, these graphics are bad." They're just so they're just movies from that era when they first started getting special effects like CGI.
They went crazy with it,
They kind of
but
did.
they didn't
but,
take their time.
well, I think that's just the technology that they had. But it's a weird thing because they had to do it. Like even though it looked bad, they had to do it. They had to go through all that looking terrible to get to where it is now.
Right.
But now that we're where we are now, looking back, it's just like ugh. And when he shot his hand, and his hand like fucking, he's like
yeah.
looking through his
Oh,
hand.
yeah.
Oh, it
You
looks
could
so
clearly
terrible.
tell it was fake.
Like it was a prosthetic hand, and then like it was like a green screen like going through it and shit.
Awful. Almost like they didn't even try.
They tried
liked
with
them.
what they had.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just
you're
the
right.
era.
You're right.
94 is really early.
Maybe
in
I'm
CGI.
judging too hard.
Really early in CGI.
I mean, they probably still use fake hands nowadays. Obviously,
For sure, dude.
Just
The
looks-
hand, I don't
just
think
looks a
would have
lot
been.
better.
I don't think the hand would have been as bad if it wasn't for the shitty CGI in the middle of the hand.
So
Like,
you
it
could,
really makes
you
it
could
stand
tell, You could tell that he was either holding the fake hand or something, because like his arm was a lot longer.
Yeah.
And it looked a
Yeah.
little odd, like off place. You could definitely tell.
That's just fucking 90s CGI, man.
Well,
So
he
bad.
obviously didn't actually get shot in the hand, so.
Right. I wonder.
No, he
what
got shot in the chest.
Yeah, I wonder what shot.
Yeah.
I wonder what shot it was that put him out.
Oh, they
Like,
didn't
what
use it in the
scene?
movie.
No.
There was supposed to be in the first scene where the rape scene, he was supposed to walk through the door to catch that. He's supposed to walk in and see them raping his chick, and then Fun Boy shoots him. But that they didn't put that in. Instead they had like all that first person shot. That's what they used instead of the actual scene that was supposed to be there.
Oh.
Word.
And then, like, the rest of the scenes, which I read, this is kind of a fun fact. The rest of the scenes that they had to shoot without him, which I couldn't spot them. Maybe I wasn't paying enough attention. But they did have to CGI his face over his stunt double.
Really?
Yeah, so there were scenes in there where they CGI'd his face over the stunt double. But they must have done a pretty good job because I didn't catch
They
it.
were probably
I
like distant shots
Yeah.
or something. We
Maybe
couldn't
those
really
scenes where he's
notice
running across the fucking buildings
for
like
sure.
or the when he first wakes up and he's doing like all that shit. Like,
Right.
that's what I was thinking that it might be, but like I couldn't spot any like up close or anything that looked like straight up CGI. And the stunt double who replaced him, I guess you could say, or like was his body double after he died, is the same guy who directed John Wick.
No shit.
Yeah, he was like a
that's
big time stunt
interesting.
coordinator throughout the 80s and 90s before he directed John Wick.
Well, he did a
David
great
Leitch, I
job
think his
with
name
John
is.
Wick. Those are movies that we should talk about someday.
I'll get to them. They're definitely
sure.
on my list. They fucking rule.
They're good movies. We could save that.
Anybody else have anything to say?
I have clues for my movie.
All right.
Oh
let's hear 'em.
yeah, clues.
Well, we didn't give our score on this movie
Shit,
yet.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, we do got to give our score
Is it like a
percentage wise.
percentage?
Percentage
What's your?
wise.
Go for it. What do you rate this movie, Chad?
I'm giving it a 90 because I really liked it, and I'll go back
Going
and
with the
watch it.
audience. Kristen,
I'm thinking. I'll give it a 90. It was pretty good.
I want to hear Cody's. Cody, what's your percentage?
I said 65.
65.
Yeah,
so
'cause
he's
I don't-
giving
I don't
giving
hate
some
it.
Credit.
This guy.
I don't
Right.
hate it. It was fun to watch, especially for like nostalgia purposes because I haven't watched it in a really long time.
Right.
So, that 65 I think is a good score for it.
I'll stick with. I'm gonna go with 85.
85. Nice.
Just because you opened my eyes to some cringiness
Yeah.
that like I just didn't really pay attention to, and like talking about it has just made me go, oh, yeah, it's fucking.
But
weird.
it makes it. I like it. I like that movie.
I mean, some of those old movies that are like corny, like that's like I mean that's why I like Arnold Schwarzenegger movies
Oh, I love
because they're like
love 'em.
cheesy and cringy.
Or
and-
any
yeah,
slasher like Friday the 13th
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, like
I
especially
love
like the
them.
sequels, like the old
Mhm.
sequels to slashers are all fucking cheesy and dumb,
Yeah.
but they're still fucking fun to watch because they got cool kills. There's one thing this movie did have was cool kills.
Yeah.
When the
It did.
fucking after the scene where I was talking about the guy giving like the big speech, the main bad guy, and then he comes in and just fucking kills everybody in that room.
Yeah.
That was pretty badass.
Yeah.
It was
What
fun to
about
watch.
the part where Top Dollar takes his sword and just puts it through that guy's throat? That was
yeah.
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
And that was actually good special effects too. Like that didn't look fucking awful. Like some of the other shots did.
Right. It was a little further away. That's probably why it looked good.
And then he goes, "Would you die already?" and shoots him in the head
Yeah.
while there's a sword in his throat.
It's like another cheesy line right there.
Want to give your social ads, dude?
We still
Yeah.
haven't gotten to Kristen's.
You haven't
Clues.
said
Yes.
anything?
My clues.
Oh,
clues,
right,
dude.
right.
So they're not long. So George Clooney's in this movie, and he's a man of constant sorrow.
Is that
Is that both of them?
Yep.
all right?
I
that's
know
pretty
you wanted
good.
me to say something about Odyssey, but
Well, you just did.
That was
Something
just
about
sa-
Odyssey.
something about it's relatable.
Okay.
This movie is about a minivan that they made in the 90s. It's called an Odyssey.
Yes.
Wait, don't they have newer ones?
I have no idea. I just got that from a fucking episode of The Simpsons.
That's funny. They have like newer ones. Anyways, yeah.
All right, we'll get to your movie.
Yeah, sweet. You can catch me on Instagram, ChattyDub420. I'm on TikTok as well, ChattyDub420. I'm on Twitter, ChattyDub4_20.
All right. I'm Mr. Greenbud4_20 on Instagram. Same on TikTok. And my Twitter is CGreenbud.
I just have Instagram, and that's CrayJC_247. But we have an Instagram page.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Everybody
Everybody's
podcast.
Check it out.
And I stream on Twitch. I forgot about that. Not
Yeah,
a lot
dude.
though. Like
Pounding
I'm not
that
keeping.
Twitch.
I'm not keeping up on that.
Play video games on Twitch sometimes.
Yeah, it's. I think it's weird that you don't just do it every time you play. I would just straight up do it
Well-
every time I play. If I was going to commit to it, just fucking do it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
We played earlier today. You should have been streaming.
it's true.
But we only play for like 2 rounds, and then we're like, okay.
So,
Yeah, those, you're not saying anything that would deter me.
My bad, guys.
It's your funeral.
I mean, okay.
Anyway,
I'll eventually get to it.
you can find me on Instagram at ScruffThePothead. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe all of our comments, or all of our videos, I mean, and leave a comment.
Yeah, leave a comment.
tell us what you thought
Leave a
about The
comment.
Crow.
Yeah.
Guess
Tell
my
us what
movie.
you think Kristen's movie is going to be.
Bye.
Peace.
Peace.